Today we are going to discuss development of Eurochordates. As you know, Eurochordates are the primitive chordates. The named Eurochordates means the notochord present in their tail regions. So their development is also very interesting. All the Eurochordates are hermaphrodites, means both the sexes are present in one individuals, but their reproductive organs are present in the loop of their intestines. Their ovaries are protogynous. They are protogynous. Protogynous means the ovary matures earlier than the sperm. Hence, the ova matures earlier and sperms mature later on. So the ova comes earlier in the seawater through the cloaca and sperms comes out from another animals, so that the fertilization is external. And of course, it will be a cross fertilization. So before proceeding further, let's have a look to the beautiful ascidians. Here you can see the beautiful ascidians, the colorful ascidians. As you know, they have the two poles, atrial poles, that is extrinsic and intrinsic poles, and few of them are very colorful. In this middle one, you can see the colorful ascidia, and the few ascidians, they looks like a transparent bottle of waters, and of course they are sessile, attached to a rock substratum, and they are colonial also. So here you can see the beautiful pictures of the ascidians. So let's move further. Here are the reproductive organs of ascidians. Reproductive organs, as I have told you, that they are being located in the loop of intestine. They are hermaphrodites, means ovary and testes are located inside each other. So here you can see the brick red color, that these are the pouches of the testes, and this purple color I have shown, these are the locations of the ovaries. So these pouches are, originally they looks like a brick color, but the ovaries are of pink color. Here you can see the oviducts and the sperm duct, the seminal ducts. The sperms come out through the seminal ducts, and the ovaries, because they matures earlier and they protogynous, hence they comes out in the seawater through the cloaca through the oviducts. So these are the reproductive organs of the ascidians. So this is the ova of the Eurochordates. The ova of the Eurochordates is quite oval in shape, that is oval in shape, and the outer covering of the ova looks like a corona, that is a chorion. So let's come, this is the nucleus and nucleolus of the ovum, and this nucleus and nucleolus is covered by a membrane known as vitelline membrane. And after the vitelline membrane, there are two outer membranes, that is outer chorion and inner chorion. In between the chorion and previtelline membrane, a fluid is filled known as previtelline fluid, that is being embedded with the follicle cells. The function of this follicle cells to nourish the ovum. And outer chorion is also being enriched by the follicle cells. Hence it is known as outer chorion. Looks like a corona, and they are of course of red colors. I have shown it with the red colors. However, the sperms of the Eurochordates are polymorphic. Polymorphic means of various shapes. Their acrosomal structure is of various shapes. It may be stout, it may be just equal to the head region, or it may be of beak shaped, and it is very small in size, that is approximately 4 μ in size. Whereas the ovum of the Eurochordates, it is 1 millimeter in size and 0.3 millimeter in diameter. So fertilization, after just half an hour of fertilization, cleavage starts. The first cleavage of the ascidian is meridional. The meaning of the meridional, that through the median axis from animal pole to vegetal pole, the sperm enters through the vegetal pole, because all the eggs, they have the polarity. One pole is known as animal pole, another is known as vegetal pole. The animal pole of the eggs is always hyperactive, whereas the vegetal pole, it has the yolk area, hence it is less active, so the sperm enters through the vegetal poles. The black one I have shown, this is the gray crescent area, that is gray crescent, the granules are being present, protein granules are present in all the eggs, so it is a gray crescent area. Sperm enters through the vegetal pole. So just after half an hour of the fertilization, the cleavage or the division starts. So the first division is meridional, from animal pole to vegetal pole through the median axis, and it is the complete division. The division of the urochordates is holoblastic, unequal and determinate. The meaning of the holoblastic, that is complete division. Unequal, that the blastomeres are of unequal size. Determinate means all the blastomeres after the division, they are predetermined to form a specific organ of the embryo. Hence the division is holoblastic, unequal and determinate. So the first is meridianal division, and due to which the two blastomeres are formed of equal size, and both the blastomeres, they have the gray crescents. The second division, I have shown, this is the first division, and the second division is also meridianal, that is just right angle to the first one, and as a result of which 4 blastomeres are formed. But 2 blastomeres are of small size and 2 blastomeres are of larger. And now it takes the position of posterior and anterior position. The anterior one are the larger, whereas the posterior blastomeres are of smaller in size. Now the third division occurs. The third division is equatorial, that is horizontal, just above the equator. As a result of the third cleavage or the division, now the blastomeres becomes 8 cell stage. So 8 cell stage becomes after the third cell division or the cleavage. Now the fourth cleavage occurs. As a result of fourth cleavage, now the cell becomes, that is 8, that is 16 cell stage. The 16 cell stage is known as morula. 16 cell stage after the fertilization is known as morula stage. Now again now the division occurs so rapidly, and now the cells become 64 cell stage and 118 cell stage. So above 110 cell stage, this egg or this zygote is known as gastrulation stage. So we will discuss now that how the division now occurs further. With the help of these pictures, you can understand the division, that how the division occurs. The first is meridional, and second is again a meridional, that is vertical, and now it becomes somewhat oblong, and third one is equatorial, and by this way the cells divide and divide again, and finally a morula stage comes out with the 16 cell stage, and later on 64, and then 110 and 118. So above 110 cell is known as gastrula stage. Well, so after the division of the cells, when they becomes more than 110, this stage is known as gastrula or the gastrulation. So what happens in gastrulation? The cells divide so rapidly, and 3 layers, germ layers, are being formed. Outer one is ectoderm, inner one is mesoderm, and inner one is endoderm. And due to the rapid division of the cells, the cavity is being sinked out, that is the invagination of the cells occurs. Differentiation and invagination starts at the stage of gastrulation, and embolia and invagination occurs, as a result of which a cavity is formed known as archenteron, and now this zygote becomes somewhat oblong in shape. Here is the structure. You can see the archenteron is formed, and later on this process is continue, and this zygote, this archenteron or the blastopore is being closed up, and due to the closing of the blastopore, here you can see the few cells are being differentiated known as neural plate. A neural plate is formed, and because this blastopore is being closed, and this area is the formation of the neural plate. Due to the differentiation of the cells, and archenteron is further just diminished in later stage, and neural plate is formed, and notochord and the neural plate, they moves towards the tail region, and after the fertilization of 8 hours, a complete free swimming minute larva swims out in the seawater. So that's all about the early development of the ascidians. Thank you.